Hello, I'm Prophet Kumayang, welcoming you once again to Light in Your Way. Hope you do enjoy our service this week.
King Emmanuel, wonderful counselor, never a baby like Jesus. Never a baby like Jesus. Never, never, never a baby like Jesus. Never, never. King Emmanuel, wonderful counselor, never a baby like Jesus. The little baby Jesus was born in a manger. Jesus, my Lord, came down to earth as a poor little stranger. Jesus, my Lord, never a baby like Jesus. Never, never, never a baby like Jesus.
control, then it's good to drive in the traffic in Kingston. And if you want to learn in double proportion, drive by Christ Mart. So I almost late for church this morning because I was learning patience, self-control, perseverance, and the rest of it. And I couldn't curse and carry on in the car because everybody knows I'm going to preach. But I was really, it was tough. It was tough. But good to be with you. And when I came in and saw all of there was empty and most of there was empty and I thought that nobody would be in church today, but you know what I mean. So I remember the fact that the preacher preached one Sunday and when he went up there he had a band-aid on his face and he apologized to the congregation saying that he was thinking about his sermon and he accidentally cut his face. And at the end of the service he got a note which said, "Pastor, next time think about your face and cut the sermon." So this morning I was shaving and I nicked something. So I cut the face. I want to reflect with you from the St. Matthew passage which was read, St. Matthew chapter 1, 18 to 25, on the simple topic, fear not. Fear not. Let us pray. So Lord, we thank you for your grace and your mercy. We thank you for the fact that you can take time out to remember that you love the world so much that you became like us, Emmanuel, God with us. Your presence among us, so that we might be changed, so that you can take us back to yourself. We know, Lord, that we have not always responded in a positive way, and we have failed you time and again. We ask, Lord, forgive us. It's a time, Lord, when we should have joy unspeakable. Sometimes, Lord, we are sad and despondent, we are fussy and miserable, and we are fretful. Remind us, Lord, that you are here to take away our fears. And so, Lord, you are saying to us today, fear not, as I said to Joseph. We pray, Lord, as we reflect on your word, that your word will come alive to our hearts. Teach us to have your statutes, Lord, and help us to keep it to the end. Because we pray in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord, Savior, and friend. Amen. It is a given that for most people, Christmas is a time which is filled with joy and goodwill and peace. But if we look on the event leading up to the first Advent, it was a good time for a man named Joseph. For him it was a traumatic time. It was a time of darkness, and Joseph didn't really enjoy that time, a period of time leading up to the first Advent. We can imagine Joseph's life as it was. He was a carpenter. Just maybe his business was doing well. He probably was a successful businessman. And just like any other couple, Mary and Joseph probably would have talked about things they wanted to do when they got married. Then Joseph discovered what we call the unimaginable. Mary was pregnant, and suddenly Joseph's life was turned upside down. She tried to explain to Joseph what happened, but Joseph couldn't make any sense of it. He began to fear his future. The Gospel of Matthew is different from Luke in the sense that Matthew tells the story from Mary's perspective. So Luke tells the story from Mary's perspective. So it talks about the angel visiting Mary and, "Hail Mary, you are highly favored among women. The Lord is with you. You shall have a child." Matthew, on the other hand, tells the story from Joseph's perspective. And he probably seeing Mary now in the situation, seeing this perspective through Joseph's eyes, that Mary probably was not the best person for Joseph in his eyes. Remember, the first readers of the Gospels didn't have the privilege of having Luke with the Annunciation by the angel, her journey to Elizabeth, the mother of John the Baptist there, the journey from Galilee to Bethlehem, the shepherds in the manger. The early readers didn't have that privilege. So the story opens in Matthew with a man in crisis, a man whose life is turned upside down, who in his resignation, Joseph was a righteous man, the Bible said, and he was saying, I'm going to turn away quietly. Because in Jewish law, when a man and woman betrothed to each other, it is said that it involved a bonding contract before witnesses, and they abstain from relationship until they get married officially. Sometimes it's about 1 year. The woman will remain at the father's house until the actual wedding ceremony. They refer to each other though as husband and wife, even though they're not together yet. The marriage arrangement was not complete and there was no consummation, but Joseph realized that his wife-to-be, Mary, was pregnant. And so two things before Joseph, two things. He could divorce her quietly and send her away until the baby was born, or he could divorce her publicly and thereby subject her to what is called public ridicule and humiliation. And as he thought about these things, as he lied down there thinking about it, the Lord came to him in a dream. And if you read it in the gospel carefully, every time God spoke to Joseph, there's a grand spirit dream. So when he spoke to him here, he spoke in a dream. When he said to him, take Mary the child and escape to Egypt, he spoke to him in a dream. When he said to him, the person who wanted to kill your baby is dead, he spoke to him in a dream. So God spoke to Joseph in dreams quite a bit. And so when he decided to put her away quietly because he loved her, didn't want to embarrass her, the Lord spoke to him in a dream and said, Joseph, fear not. Joseph, don't be afraid. In Joseph's time, the word fear not is not the way we use things like when we try to encourage somebody, we say, boy, it will get better soon. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing which is like look on the bright side. It's not the same, it doesn't mean the same thing as long as there's life, there's hope. It doesn't mean the same thing as you need to be optimistic. It doesn't mean the same thing, don't give up, hang in there. This too shall pass. It doesn't mean the same thing that as it may be long, but it won't be forever. In Joseph's time, it meant much more than that. Because Joseph's fears were real fears. Because it was a possibility that his wife could have been stoned to death. She could have been regarded as a prostitute. And just maybe for Joseph, for him to marry someone like that, it would mean an offense to God. But the angel said to him, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit, and she will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sin. Why did God tell Joseph to have no fear? And I'm saying this to you, suggest to you that God said that to Joseph, because God was saying to Joseph, I have started, I am doing, and I will be doing the unexpected. I will be doing the unimaginable. I will be doing the unfathomable. I will be doing the incredible. And certainly, I will be doing the unprecedented. Unexpected because it's something that Joseph wasn't expecting, because he was engaged to her, they had no sexual relation, and she was pregnant. That was not expected to happen. Unimaginable, because that was kind of thing that never entered the thought of mankind. No Mary existed like that before, and And so it was kind of hard to imagine. It never entered the thought of mankind that somebody would get pregnant and there was no sexual relation at that time. It was unfathomable because it's not something that you can understand. And that's why there are many persons who don't understand it and they reject it. There are many persons who reject the virgin birth because they don't understand it. God was saying, I'm going to do the unfathomable, something you can't think about. And God was saying, I'm doing the incredible, the impossible to believe, and certainly the unprecedented. In other words, it never happened before. It's something that nobody ever thought of. And it is the first time it's happening, and it's the only time. So in this dream then, God said to him, I'm going to do the unexpected, the unimaginable, the unfathomable, the incredible, and the unprecedented. I want to notice something that God said to him, fear not, have no fear. But when God said that to him, nothing really changed in the situation. She was still pregnant. Fear not, but she could still be stoned to death. Fear not, you can still face embarrassment. And God was saying, fear not. So if the situation hasn't changed, why is God saying fear not? And in our situation today, if we are in the situation that we face in our lives, the things that we want to see change, how can God say to us, fear not, when the situation is still there? The difference is that God is now in the situation and therefore it is no longer the same. So guess what? It's like the verse we often quote, or the phrase, with Christ in the vessel, we can smile at the storm. In other words, the situation is not changed, but God is now in the situation. So, you may be at home, and there are some things happening and you don't like it, and God is saying to you, don't fear. The situation doesn't change, but God is there. In other words, a situation happening in our workplace, we are meeting head in our workplace, and the situation has not changed, but God is saying, have no fear. What makes a difference is that God is in it. Joseph's situation didn't change, but his perspective changed because God was saying, I am in the situation. The big difference, the real difference, the decisive difference is that Emmanuel, God is with us. So when the storm is still raging in our lives, when the storm is still raging in our thoughts, when the storm is still raging in our homes, when the storm is still raging with our children, when the storm is still raging with our family members, when the storm is still raging at the workplace, when the storm is still raging in our hearts and our lives, and God is saying, don't fear. In other words, God is saying that the storm may not pass, but I am with you in the storm. So fear not. This lady said in 2001, I was feeling suicidal. After my marriage broke down, I didn't think I could go on. After 2 years of separation, she said, the divorce papers were being drawn up. I asked my mother to watch my children so I could be alone. She says, her mother said that she was in a dangerous place and suggested that they go shopping together. She said I had no energy to shop. So I stayed outside on a bench and contemplated the different ways I could end my life and stop the heartache I was feeling. Then a woman came and sat down next to me on the bench. She asked, are you a Christian? I said I was. Then she said, I just want to tell you that if you are a follower of Jesus, you are more than conqueror in Him. Bam, she said, those words breathed life into me. All thoughts of suicide left me, and God's unexplainable peace rushed in. And today, we're celebrating 25 years of marriage. The thing is, that our situation don't really change. She still had difficulty at home, but God entered the situation. Too many many times we want God to change things, but we don't want to give ourselves to God so God can take control of our situation. So it could be anywhere you are at. It could be anybody you're having difficulty with, and you think you can't go on. God is saying, fear not, because I am with you. So even though the person at work is not changing, and even though the person is still annoying, and even though he's not nice with children, God is saying, fear not, because I am in the situation. Sometimes we want the situation to change, but God wants us to change our perspective. And so he said to us, fear not. Sometimes, when we hear the words fear not, we may say, don't understand what I'm going through. But God says, I know what you're going through. In fact, when I was preparing, it said that one of the commands given in the Bible the most, probably over 300 times, and I see some greater number, is fear not. Fear not, because it is easy to fear, it is easy to fret. The story is told of a man who loved to fret. And so he went to a psychologist one day and said to him, I'm having a problem, I love to fret and I want help. Psychologist said to him, when you go home, write down all the things that you worry about and put a piece of paper and burn it, and you see how you shall be relieved. A few weeks later, the man returned to the psychologist and he said, I did all that he said to me. The psychologist said, but why are you here then? Why have you returned to me? He said, I'm not worried because I have nothing to worry about. Sometimes we like that, we love to worry. We love to worry. But he was worrying that he had nothing to worry about and something must be wrong. Jesus is saying to us, fear not. So in Christmas time, in Advent time, brings fear and stress. It means that Emmanuel is not yet with us. It means that God is not yet in our hearts where it should be. Because when we start to worry and fret, it means that Emmanuel, the God of the Advent, is yet to take root in our lives. It is easy to worry and easy to fret. But God is saying, fear not. I can't finish without saying something else. That the command to fear not is not an end in itself. It does not stand in isolation. It stands in, it is contingent then, let me put this way, it's contingent upon obedience. Because even though God told Joseph not to fear, Joseph was given a command, a guidance, a directive. But take Mary as your wife. Sometimes we want God to tell us not to fear, but we don't want to obey what God is telling us to do. Because every time God says to somebody, fear not, He's saying to them, but do. Fear not, but go. Fear not, but love. Fear not, but accept. Fear not, but follow me. Fear not, but do. Sometimes God is saying to us, I want you to do something in church, in my kingdom. I will say, Lord, I'm afraid. Lord, I want you to help me. But God is saying, fear not, but make yourself available so God can use you. Because we love the term, fear not. I will love when God says, fear not. I will not worry, I will not fret. But guess what? When God says to us, do something, we don't like that part. But to accept the term, fear not, we must be willing to do. We must be willing to obey. We must be willing to go. Joseph, when he got up, he obeyed and took Mary as his wife. What does God ask us to do today to take away our fear? What is God asking you to do today so that He may remove your fear? What is it that you worry about? And God is saying to you that I want to do for you the unexpected. I want to do for you the unimaginable. I want to do for you the unfathomable. I want to do for you the incredible. And I want to do for you the unprecedented. Never happened before. That's why He said to you, fear not. God bless you.
Hello, this is hello, Prophet Jan again, thanking you for joining us in Lighting Your Way as we celebrate Christmas. We hope that you are enjoying your Christmas season. If you have no church home, we invite you to join with us here at the Covenant Moravian Church. Information is down below.